training. She is recognized for her straightforward, no-nonsense approach and her ability to bridge the gap between complex technology and policy and citizen-centric governance. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. We have, Shri Pani is not there yet. He'll be joining us in some moment. We also have Anshuman Ji, the director of the Madhya Pradesh government. Just a sec. So he is a dynamic young officer. He is on the path of becoming a future IT secretary of Madhya Pradesh, probably a meaty if he sticks to the service. He is our additional MD of MPS EDC from Madhya Pradesh. Thank you, Anushman Ji, for being here. I would like to invite our CEO for Karnataka Digital Economy Mission, who is leading the state's digital economy for the government of Karnataka, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Gupta, the ISS. Sir, I would request you to be please moderating this session. Thank you to you all. I hand over to you, sir.
Very good afternoon to all of you. It's a great pleasure to be here in the Bharat Mandapam, especially looking at an India AI Impact Summit. Impact can be seen by government in a big way. And what else we can aspire to see the executives, the leaders of the government from the great states of India, Karnataka, Telangana, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, representing the entire India here today. Why we need this and why we need this topic to be discussed about it. We have seen in our journey of digital transformation. Mr. Fani, welcome. Welcome, Mr. Fani. Yeah, so people do talk about of Bangalore and Hyderabad, but Delhi is not. Delhi is also there in a similar way. Too bad. It's absolutely. We require the GPS now to govern to come to the meeting room number 18 as well. Coming back to the topic, the democratization of AI and Bharat story. Why this topic is required for all of us to have a discussion and why we need the great leaders of the government share their perspective on this topic. Today, thankfully, the government of India's initiatives, the state government's transformation job has led to amazing results in the digital stack that has been created across the country. For examples from farmers to financiers, they have been now leveraging the tech platforms in a big way. Yes, we have seen early results. Examples of UPI, the Aadhaars, the etc. have seen 14 billion transactions happening on UPI, right? Actually, if you see that, we are looking at around 1,400 million citizens in roughly around 700 districts with 22 languages, going to be the largest community of humankind in the world that we're going to serve. In that journey, when you have got these digital stacks across with us, the question comes is this new wave of AI, the intelligence wave, which is coming up in front of us. And yes, AI has been blessed, embraced by technology innovators and also by the enterprises a lot. We see every time a new enterprise looking out, something of coming out from here. But then, if I go back to my statement, farmers to financiers, where this AI is actually leading to? And is there a story? And is there a question marks? Is there some answers? Is there some partnership platform that needs to come together? I have many questions in my head. I thought I will invite the great leaders of the government today here, put up some questions to them, understand that what is that they are looking at from their perspective and what they're doing in the respective states. And is there any good connects that the audience and all of us can come together? I know audience comprises of the entrepreneurs. Audience also comprises of some think tank players here. Audience is also the student community and some of the people around who is influencing the technology in a big way. So can we connect these examples with all of you? And maybe put up one or two questions that I'll ask from the audience if time permits. State is the symbol of democracy expansion, the democratization implementation, both ways, from the population perspective. India is nothing else but the state governments. And if this has to be seen at that level, my first question goes to, let's say Anshuman ji. I pick up the first question with you right now from Madhya Pradesh. In your 77 spanning districts that we have, I see that agriculture deploys 70% of the workforce. What does the AI democratization means for this last mile? And maybe linking with the direct benefit transfers as well, right? Your crop intelligence, linking it with your social protection. Do you see there is something that is happening around or could be done, some examples of those democratization of AI in the real field of 70% of your population in 77 districts, Mr. Anshuman?
Thank you, sir. In 55 districts of Madhya Pradesh, you rightly said that agriculture is the backbone of Madhya Pradesh, and we are not looking in case of agriculture, we are not looking just in issuing advisories to the farmers. We are going beyond that. We are like going into the life cycle of agriculture. So for example, suppose I had provided the advisory to a farmer and then he sows something. The first thing he expects from the government is that whatever he sows is digitized or is recorded in the government document somewhere. In local parlance, we call it Girdawari, and earlier the Patwaris used to go to the field and they used to measure how much area is there and what type of crop has been sown there. And based on this, the procurement happens, what is the total expected food that can be produced from that field, and if any disaster struck, then what compensation then they can get. And again, the PM Fasal Bima Yojana is also based on this Girdawari record. So what we have done, this is our fourth cycle. We are now directly using satellite images to automatically tell us using machine learning algorithms that what type of crop has been sown with an accuracy of 95%. So now both the omission and commission both has been removed. Now the farmer does not have to go to the Patwari. And based on this data, we are also calculating the crop volume which is there, and we are automatically telling that this might be their expected total produce that we can expect. And this has helped so much in case of disasters. And then again, in procurement, we used to hear that whatever the quantity is, sometimes some states, they give extra bonuses above what the MSP is there. And then there are some, we keep on hearing news that there are leakages, then crops are coming from some other state and then they are getting sold in some other state. So we have reduced all of these using our machine learning models, and we are in the fourth season. So it has quite matured.
Okay. And it has led to some yields also. Have you seen some yields by your crop intelligence system that you developed?
Actually, sir, because again, since climate is changing, and then again we have seen that, I will give you an example of soybean farmers. So we have seen that because of changing climate, the rainfall pattern has changed. And again, there might be some time when we might advise the farmers to sow the soybean some days before or some days after to avoid this season. Because even if it rains and if the soybean fruits have, if it is in flowering stage, and even if it is even if it rains before that, then it is okay. The loss would not be that much. So we have seen an increase of around 25% in last 3 years using these technologies.
And do you see that the trust on the AI systems of these farmers is increasing, or is still becoming a question mark that whether we should believe or not believe?
Actually, sir, I believe that trust in AI-based governance is a subset of trust in governance as a whole. So I have found, I will just share an example. So 2 years ago, there was a hailstorm in one of the villages. I was posted there as an SDM. So, crops of some 17 villages were affected. What usually used to happen is that once crop damage is happening, then Patwaris go there and then they mark the field, and based on the extent of damage between 0 to 25%, they don't give any relief. Between 25 to 50, they give some other relief, and it is like this. So for the first time, what we did, we used satellite images of pre-event and post-event to find out based on NDVI that what is the extent of crop damage. We also, since we were experimenting for the first time, we also took the manual way where our team went and then they surveyed the field. And you won't believe that with the manual way, the total amount of compensation was coming to some 18.5 crore. And with this satellite-based exact pinpoint data, we got it at something around 4.5 crores. and there was not a single complaint from any farmer, but that my name has been deleted or some corruption has happened, or so we solved both commission and omission, and there was not a single complaint.
Very nice. Very nice.
This shows the trust. This shows the trust of the people in technology, in AI, and in governance as a whole.
Got it. And in fact, the results also shows that roughly 25% yield is what is expected when you leverage AI and ML solutions, especially in the agriculture field. Coming to Vishalji, to you, yes, the AI systems are there, but the language and the skills, which becomes the most like a biggest barriers for any AI system to be implemented. I know you enough number of years, you're doing entrepreneurship in bureaucracy. You experiment new things, right? And you design those systems, and then you finally deliver those systems as well. How is Odisha thinking about these citizen-centric platforms, skilling and language inclusion to ensure AI is accessible and trusted by all?
Thanks, Sanjeev. Very good morning to everyone. Good afternoon, in fact. So, when you talk of citizen-centric platforms, language localization, just two things I want to say before I begin. One is, far too often we've seen, as government officers or bureaucrats, that we get muddled up in technology, jargon, etc. If you keep it simple, let's say we're discussing democratization of AI resources. What does it mean? It means accessibility to everyone, irrespective of region, socioeconomic background, etc. Affordability at reasonable cost, and of course, all foundational models should be available. So that is something which I think all of us need to keep in mind. The second is, for a state like Odisha, the context becomes very important, because the point that you mentioned, so Odia, for example, is a low resource language. There are very little quantum of data sets, Odia data sets, that are available currently. And that is one major, target that we have, challenge. So we have kind of taken up, conversion of a large number of texts, historical and others, and 1,600 texts have been converted.
Okay.
So far, they've all been contributed to AI Kosh of the India AI mission, and this exercise is continuing. We are also going to be launching a program called Odia Bhashadan very soon. The idea behind it is that we've identified 13 sectors wherein we will request people from all walks of life, including some experts. So there are sectors like tourism, history, celebrities of Odisha, etc., major landmarks, major events and all. So we will launch up this program wherein people will be asked to contribute, professors, people from the villages. So geography is immaterial, but we want to create a massive, data corpus, which would then be, converted into machine-readable form and made available. So the idea is that more and more language data sets need to be available, because AI is what?
Correct.
I mean, the more you train on data, the better it becomes.
Correct.
So that is one. On the citizen-centric platforms, there are a couple of very interesting works that we've taken up. So with Sarvam, we've been having this project on rice fallow management. So rice fallow management is primarily people who take up one crop. So paddy is the most common crop in Odisha. And once people cultivate paddy, mostly in Kharif season, thereafter Rabi, they don't do anything. So the idea is, how do we encourage multiple cropping patterns? So there is a database, there is a directory of farmers. We reach out to them through this model. In fact, this time there were 50 lakh calls that were made to farmers through the Sarvam platform, asking them if they had received inputs, giving them information about their soil conditions, because everything has been mapped hyper locally. So we have plot-wise information, so soil conditions, weather conditions, and we send them advisories about what we need to do. And the third was, I think you mentioned skill. The second example is, so Odisha has Odia, the language has several dialects. So there is a coastal dialect, there's a western dialect, there's a southern dialect, and within these dialects also there are variations. So we've taken up this exercise of, voice-based data sets to be created, district-wise. So for example, Santali, the way it is spoken in Mayurbhanj could be different from the way it is spoken in Kyunjhar. So capturing, those dialect specific details So that is on the language side. On the skilling side, again, we are looking at multiple verticals. One is what do we do within the government? So with Vadhwani Foundation, we have tied up for capacity building of the government servants across. So starting from a clerical level to secretary level officers, everybody is getting trained. We have a program called AI for All, which is available free of cost to general public. It's about a 4.5 hour program. It can be completed. And then we are having skilling programs at the institution levels across all our universities. Just 2 weeks back, we launched a program across 12,000 of our schools for high school students, to give them a basic understanding of what AI is. So across the gamut, we're talking of skilling, of citizen-centric platforms, and language is very, very important for us.
Lovely. And I hear that you're also collaborating with the universities, especially, to bring them on some of these language data sets coming up together. So
correct.
Is there any specific project that you're driving upon?
So with Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology, for example, agriculture is one of the major priority areas. So we have health, education, agriculture. Disaster management is very important for Odisha because we are prone to cyclones. Earlier, the frequency used to be once in 3 years. Now it's kind of increased to twice a year. So we get 2 cyclones. The intensity is also higher. So, and governance. So these 5 areas we're working on: health, education, agriculture, disaster management, and productivity within the government.
Very nice.
So under that, this OUAT, Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology, we're having a program wherein very technical terminologies, agriculture-related information that is being created.
Right. No, I think these models of getting partnership with institutions is a great one because they can bring out the various forms, medical colleges, the other institutions of different data sets from the different kinds.
Absolutely.
And that will help you to cover the multiple sectors of the, and bring the data course upper. Lovely. I think the language, the trust comes into place, the skills comes into place, examples of yield and agriculture comes into place. I'll go to the, Dr. Manjula ji. Manjula ji, we have almost like 1 million engineers graduates annually passing out. Obviously, and Karnataka is the leading state in terms of the tech graduates. But still there is a pursuit as a skill gap which is putting together a rapid technological advancements as a challenge as well. Right? Yes, we have an advantage in Karnataka, but we also see a challenge in terms of the skills which is coming up. Is there any very specific initiatives that the government of Karnataka is driving, which caters to fill this gap? Because all these demands are created, the solutions are coming up, but who will deliver that, right? Is there any specific initiatives that you would like to share?
Thanks, Mr. Sanjeev. I mean, we are one team, so wherever I wish, you can always pitch in. I mean, of course, everybody knows about Karnataka and more so Bangalore city and the kind of technologically advanced skill force that we have and the people that we have. We can boast of about 2.5 million of technically qualified graduates and professionals in our state. So the last 3 decades, IT-related services, we have excelled. And we are also coming to the AI revolution that we are all foreseeing, or we are already in the midst of it. So the skilling, upskilling, and skilling the unskilled is a priority for the government because we also have to catch up with the AI race that is going on. And also the benefits, not merely a race, but because of the benefits that it brings to the society at large. So coming to the specific targeted programs, I would like to mention here one particular initiative called Nipuna. Nipuna is an initiative where this is very tailor-made for the industry's needs, and highly skilled programs are also being, so that the people skilled under it are ready for employment. That is the idea. In fact, the initiative focuses so much on industry partners and the service or the aggregators, who in turn can provide them the necessary job and placements, etc. Then link for that. That is how it is structured. The good thing about this is, one is this is a common platform where we bring together the industry requirement and the people who are ready to be skilled and the people who can skill them, and then the people who can help them to get the placements and employment opportunities. That is one thing. Secondly, the government itself is taking a substantial cost, proportion of this cost. So whatever be the cost of training a person, we pitch in 40% of that. So that is the advantage is highly skilled highly, good institutions we can provide the skill, and good industries which have identified the required skills, all are coming together, and that is the advantage. Beyond this also, there are multiple areas through which we are skilling our people. This is one specifically targeted program, but like I would like to mention about the centers of excellences that we have, and professor from our IIT Alumni Center is right here. Including his organization, we have more than 20 centers of excellence. Centers of excellence, have a mixed, each of them has a set mandate and a set, outcome required, deliverables set out. But then broadly, all of them cover encouraging research, because they themselves act as institutions, or they are housed in institutions which already have a research and development mandate, or already have that advantage. Secondly, they support innovation. They reach out to startups which which are filtered and identified, and then the ones which are more likely to be productive, more likely to be successful, are boarded onto this platform, the centers of excellence. Further, there's always the industry collaboration, because all the industry partners in our state know the benefit or the advantage or the leveraging which can come through the centers of excellence. A lot of problem statements are rooted through these centers of excellence, and our innovators or researchers work further on these innovations. Apart from all this, we also have a skilling line which is also been mandated through the centers of excellence, high-level skilling. For example, we did the VLSI skilling, which had a great response. Likewise, AI-related skilling and specific structured, tailor-made skilling also is being planned. So this is another way of doing it. Thirdly, you all know we have a lot of academic institutions in our state. Many of them date back to pre-independence era. And they're all extremely good, extremely academic oriented, and today they're all lining up with the industry requirements. A lot of the institutions, like I can name a few, like the RV University or the Manipal University, Alliance yesterday, just last week, they signed up for a quantum computer, a partnership with one of our quantum computer a company which has manufactured the first quantum computer. So they have that kind of alliances. Though what I'm trying to say is, through that also, lot of skilling is happening through the regular academic institutions, but with a structured curriculum. And we have courses, AI, etc., are proper degree courses offered in many of our educational institutions. Beyond this, government institutions, the public institutions also are following the line, kind of precedent set by the private education institutions. A lot of government universities are also aligning with these kind of partnerships. And secondly, our curriculum is also being tweaked. A lot of the universities are going back to their board of governors, whatever the body is, academic body, which decides on the curriculum, looking and reviewing the curriculum, and then structuring it to make it AI and industry ready. That is what we are focusing on. So this kind of a multi-pronged approach. If I've left out something, we can add.
No, I think I will just add with you saying that the cities like Mangalore and Mysore and Hubli, Belgaum, Dharwad, Belgavi are emerging tech cities now, and they are actually having the talents of this kind. For example, Hubli itself has 6,000 AI resources serving to the global clients in city like Hubli, right? And you have the Center of Excellence on AI in Triple IIT Dharwad, in IIT Dharwad. So Dharwad is flowing. Mangalore has a cybersecurity center of excellence on BFSI. So these are the areas where...
we have specific centers of excellence, like IIT Alumni Center is specifically working on AI.
Correct.
Likewise, we have a new center of excellence coming up which looks at AI in biotechnology. So our premier organization called CCAMP will be anchoring that. That is shortly on the anvil. Similarly, we have a separate center of excellence looking at applications in AI, applied AI technical solutions. We call it for CATS in short. So that is also started operating. So these are like organizations which look at this very much focused on AI related. And of course, other than this, I mentioned the other centers of excellence, more than 20 in number, which are looking at various other sectors and other deep technologies also.
True, very true. Thank you, Bharat. One question which just comes to you is that you are 20,000 startups plus in the state of Karnataka, 1,700 plus AI and AI related startups raising roughly $2.8 billion in last 1.5 years. Amazing results. DPI is a parallel track coming in place. Industry is also there. I see that DPI and industries are like a rail track. Like a railway track has been laid down. How do you see that Karnataka is going to leverage these great two tracks of industry that we possess? Big one, 400 out of Fortune 500 companies are operating from the state of Karnataka. You have a DPIs laid down from here. Your all Aadhars are technology bases coming out from Bangalore only. How do you see these two tracks built up, leveraging each other for the openness, interoperability, coming out the data privacy acceptance? How do you see this can be, leveraged?
No, true. I mean, very valid point, because now there is so much being built based on these kind of data which is available. Like in India can boast about our Aadhaar, the identity platform that we have, and the UPI, which has revolutionized so many solutions based on fintech. So, I mean, of course, many of them, Karnataka has directly or indirectly a lot of role that it has played. Apart from all that, I mean, this is, of course, there are regulatory mechanisms, there are mechanisms for accessing the data on which solutions are being built. But Karnataka itself can boast of its own data sets which we have. For example, like, though our department, IT department doesn't directly handle it, but we have a sister department called the e-governance department, which is a repository of all this data. Like many of the other states have also described how farmer-related interventions have been done, solutions have been found out. Likewise, we have immense number of products which are being rolled out or already rolled out in our state, which has generated enormous data. For example, the fruits data, the farmer produce-related data is one data set we have. Likewise, health, status of the citizens is something that we have. Likewise, the public distribution data that we have. Likewise, forest and land resource
Smart
data
city
that
data
we
we have.
Smart city data we have, data sets that we have. A lot of this is the base on which a lot of solutions and the AI related models and solutions can be built. So we have created a AI cell within the e-governance department, which also has an initiative, or we can call it as a portal called e-Sahamati.
Yeah.
E-Sahamati. So e-Sahamati is a place or a portal where any founder or an innovator or a company who needs to access such data can directly reach out through this portal, through the department, and where they work it out based on the data security and data privacy and then utility and all that will be analyzed, and then the kind of data access is being provided.
Okay.
So this will be the foundation data set with which many other solutions are being built. Another great thing I should say, which is being developed by our own in IIIT Bangalore, is one of the identity platform which we have built. This is called MOSIP. That is it's an open source identity platform called Modular Open Source Identity Platform. This has been a platform which is readily usable by many nations and states on which they can build their identity platform, like Aadhaar, what our country has.
Yeah.
So many African countries and many countries in Asia Pacific region
35 countries are using now.
Yeah, they already adopted it. So that was a product which came out of our center of, it's called as Center for Digital Public Infrastructure, which is well within IIIT Bangalore. So it was developed in that center, and these are the few examples which I can quote.
Exactly, and I want to take this question. Thank you, ma'am. I want to take this question to all of you. See, the public, digital infrastructure is being put together in a big way by India Stack and Bharat Stack, right? How do you see that this can be leveraged with the innovations by the startup which is coming up in Odisha, in Madhya Pradesh, in Telangana, where you have already a rail track, innovation track is coming in place, government doing something very differently to put two together, enable much more so that now the growth of the AI can be leveraged in all sectors of the economy. Any examples, any thoughts? Fani, we'll go with you first.
Thank you, Sanjeev ji. First off, I just want to thank everyone for being here, and thanks for this opportunity. I also want to quickly correct my last name is Nagarjuna, so it's got misspelled. So I just want for everybody's benefit. But I do want to take a step back here on the topic of democratization of AI, Bharat story, right? So I believe fundamentally that when the cost of access becomes zero, then it really lays the foundation for democratization in India for any technology, right? But for that to happen, I think what Telangana is doing is taking a step back to put together a holistic approach to invest today to build a leadership position in AI. And starting with structure, policy, ecosystem, and capability. I'll talk about the structure in a bit. And policy-wise, Telangana is one of the first states to put out a comprehensive AI policy in 2024. Not only about what to do, but also about taking a very responsible AI approach and an inclusive approach to deliver the benefits of AI to all segments of the society. So we have all seen in governance that it begins with policy, right? And then the second part is an ecosystem approach in AI. I don't think any country or any state, for that matter, can take a siloed or an isolated approach and become a leader in this race of AI. I think it requires a holistic ecosystem approach, which is what Telangana is taking, starting with skilling, and startup acceleration, just like Karnataka obviously has been setting an example there. But Telangana is really investing aggressively on the startup acceleration front. And how do you infuse that startup acceleration with the necessary financing? And we have announced a 1,000 crore startup fund of funds, obviously would be catalyzed with the private investments on top of it. And then bring in the industry and academia through a co-innovation and co-research programs, right? All of these are the critical pillars supported by obviously a high-performance compute and cloud infrastructure that is needed. And Telangana has partnered with AWS, and we have announced roughly about a $67 billion investment that AWS would be making in setting up cloud and data centers in Telangana over the course of the next decade, right? All of this is really your ecosystem value proposition that are needed, right? And then the last part is the capability, which is where I started off saying it's the zero cost access. Just like we have the DPI, which is like you started off saying like putting on the rails on which the states would have to build the last mile applications. That's exactly, I think, what is needed here on the AI front to enable states and individuals and startups to put together the last mile applications that deliver the value, right? But I come back to the S, the spec framework I talked about, structure, policy, ecosystem, and capability. But the structure is very important. I think that's where, having been across the world and having consulted with different governments, I see that throwing this an AI-based innovation ecosystem under a governmental department isn't going to move the needle for the country or for the states. It ought to be an autonomous, unified entity with the agility of a commercial startup, but the backing of a government, and that can bring in the best practices from across the world and can build out tentacles across different states and outside of the country to bring in the best practices to build innovation that can move the needle for the country. And Telangana has taken the first step there with the launch of ICOM at Davos, which puts that exact structure together as well as brings in the rest of the ecosystem into the fold with global collaborations to drive the so-called democratization of AI for the bot.
Got it, got it. And I think you said very well, the cost of the access has to become zero. And the cost of access can only become zero if the data center and the compute power cost goes drastically down. And what else we need? We need a sovereign AI, right? And hence becomes, related to this question, goes to Vishalji, to you, is, if you pick up these direct benefit transfers and you look at zero linkages, welfare program, no linkages, absolutely transferred on levels, AI predicting the rations before the families get their foods and the food grains in the kitchens. Fraud reduction savings, how many crores, it's examples coming up from all over the segments. Vulnerable populations identified early through responsible data. So the question is that, do you see these are the real examples from the state that are transforming the lives of the people while zero leakage is Brishan has been predicted by the machines to you. The logistic and supply chains have been ensuring to reach out to the food grains, to the families around, possibly looking at the disease patterns, etc. Are there real examples where the Odisha and Madhya Pradesh, and same question to you, Anshumanji, are you seeing real examples of this kind, zero linkage welfare by AI?
Sanjeev, it's a very valid question, and I totally agree with what you said. I mean, you know, technology can be used in various ways, and of course, AI can enable the zero leakage thing that you're talking of. DBT has, done that to a major extent. And last year we launched, in fact, Honorable Prime Minister launched in Odisha this scheme called Subhadra, wherein a sum of 50,000 is to be transferred to various women. So we have about 1 crore, 14 lakh beneficiaries so far. We've all seen that at the press of a button, the money goes into the account of the beneficiary. And I remember about 15 years back when I was Municipal Commissioner of Bhubaneswar, we had this major issue of ghost pension holders and ghost ration card holders. So we took up an exercise. It wasn't based on AI, but we used technology, data mapping, and of course, some rudimentary elements of what we have in Aadhaar now. So we worked with a large number of software developers to see matching of names, fathers' names, date of birth, etc. And in a city like Bhubaneswar, with a population of about 1.5 million, back then, we were able to weed out something like 2 lakh ghost card holders and beneficiaries. Now, that's a massive achievement for the simple reason that that money, there's always a waiting list of beneficiaries wanting to, get into ration card, being ration card holders or getting pensions. So it goes to people who actually deserve these benefits. So the issue of getting right entitlements, benefits, etc., becomes very important. And moving forward, I think so AI will be able to take it forward in a much stronger and a more structured way.
Vishalji, we did one small experiment. One of my startups from Karnataka reached out to me and said, look, we can do your survey in 1 hour, which you'd normally take 1 year. I said, how you will do that?
Yeah.
He said, no, you give me your data, I'll show you this part. Now, what a survey you can do? I said, how you will do it? Just give me the phone numbers and we will do that. He's here somewhere sitting in the audience, right? Raise your hand and meet them. Okay. What he does is, the AI engine actually gives a call for them, very mature AI engine, have a conversation on surveys with every individual in the local language, and get the data inside it and give me the results. So Thursday launch it, Friday morning on my table, full analysis done. Out of which I find out 50% of the numbers were not valid. Right. So I'm not reaching out to the right department and saying, we need to do something corrective measures here. So I think the AI can actually provide a much faster and efficient governance model.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Which you just showed example of the ration cards as well.
So can I just add a point to what Vishalji said? Actually, it's a very astute point.
But a short point, because I want to listen to it.
The result of technology implementation, I think now with AI, what he has done could become a continuous example rather than episodic, right? And that's the beauty of AI is you can scale exactly what Vishalji has done now on a continuous basis across different programs.
Correct. Absolutely. It's Anshuman.
Sir, in Madhya Pradesh, AI in DBT is not an add-on. We don't see it as an add-on, but we see it as a natural evolution of what our DPI currently is. So in Madhya Pradesh, we have something called Samagra IDs of each members. We have this program since 2012. So we have given a unique ID to each individual, and then how it is different from Aadhaar is that we have also mapped their families. So in a village, we know how many families are there with their family IDs, how many individuals are there who are linked to that villages, who is the head, and all the schemes, close to 400 schemes that the Madhya Pradesh government gives to them is with this Samagra ID only. And now we are thinking, like you said, of the DPI, we don't want startups to reinvent the wheel. We have this data and we are ready to share this, of course, by anonymizing it. And again, coming on to this DPI front, we have two excellent data sets. One is Sampada. in which all the land, all the property records, all the property transactions that are happening are now in Madhya Pradesh, they are now fully faceless and fully digital. So right from your home, you don't have to go to any registrar. Right from your home using Aadhaar-based GBT, you can directly authenticate yourself and do everything. Now what we are planning is to give whole of this data, because again it is a very huge data. There are crores of digital documents that we have digitalized 100%, which are OCR readable, and we are ready to give it to startups and other private sectors. So this was our second offering, and our third offering again in this line was land revenue. So again, land revenue is a major component which in Madhya Pradesh we are will be going to digitalize close to all the records by end of this year, right from 1900s to current. So you can trace on a single parcel of land, you can trace what all transactions has happened, what all orders from tehsildars or SDMs or collectors have happened, and right up to present place. So and again this is very useful, because when you see all the litigations that are happening in India are more than 60-70% of the litigations are land based only, and it is one of the core challenges in which you have seen startups like Magic Bricks or something else which are coming, which are predicting what would be the property price of certain area, or they can again in parlance of investment, they think, okay, we'll buy this land, and they can predict how much the price can go. So like you were saying, in DPIs, we have multiple sets of such kind of data which we are very open to share with the industry by anonymizing it. And I would urge all the audience, there was a very famous ad by MP Tourism that someone was asking what is in the Madhya Pradesh, and then he said that come in the Madhya Pradesh and then you can see. So I think in IT sector I can tell you all that, please come to Madhya Pradesh, and then you can see in at least in front of DPIs, we are willing to share many things if the partners, if they are willing.
I think the common thing which is coming out very clearly is that democratization of AI, the Bharat story depends upon obviously the examples, the languages, the skill, the data sets, cost of computation power, and some live examples. Now we have only 6 minutes left, and I have 2 questions to ask. One individually, and very short answers to all of you, please. And the one is general question to all of you, which is one-line statements. So first question to you, madam, is one startup that you think coming out from Karnataka on AI, you would like to take a name today?
More than one, actually. Difficult to take one. But then since we are specifically talking about how startups or ideas which have actually, worked on the DPIs and how they have been, effectively done in governance, etc. I would like to mention CoreOver.ai. I think Ankush is there. He is participating today in our pavilion. He's there. I think they have done well with IRCTC and our NC, that's the Payments Corporation of India, Indian Navy, and they've interacted, they've worked with them, product solutions for them, generative AI basically, and they've come out with an assistant or a chatbot which helps, facilitate delivery of services, overcoming the language barriers, and they're all powered by, that is powered by Bharat GPT. So that is one good example. I think Sarvam AI, I think Sir also just mentioned Sarvam AI, and of course, like it is one example which shows how the DPI and the model which have been linked can deliver citizens better. Like you all know, Aadhaar, the voice assistant which comes on, it has been developed by them, and so it overcomes the barriers like literacy and all. It's it's also in multiple languages, so it's an Indic generative AI also, and it is helping people overcome their grievances, etc. through this system. It has been done.
Lovely, and there are many examples that you would like to take up.
More are there. I think we'll give others an opportunity.
Of course, Vishalji, one Odisha language AI use case which is breaking barriers faster than we can see.
So I spoke to you about the Sarvam use case for rice fallow management. I think that's
the one.
That's going to be a landmark implementation, and we've already seen very, very good results of that. So primarily, identifying, encouraging farmers to produce more.
We'll send you some more startup from Bangalore now to serve you in
Please.
Odisha.
And to your question, Sanjeev, I think, naming one startup is difficult because each is doing outstanding work in different sectors. So
Yes.
for example, in our case, there's healthcare. There is a startup called Remedio.
Yeah.
They are doing outstanding job for detecting, diabetic retinopathy.
Yeah.
And similarly for agriculture, similarly for education. So for education, we are working on this tool for Odia reading fluency.
Okay.
I mentioned about the change in dialect across various districts and regions. So for grade 1 to 8, we are creating voice data sets of students, teachers, etc. across different districts. So that's another startup that's doing very well.
Lovely. And I think you have another health startup which is growing very big in the map of India as your Cure.
CureBay.
Cure
Yes,
Bay.
that's
doing
right.
wonderful work.
They are, true.
Okay. Mr. Fani, one data governance policy that you will suggest from Telangana that other states can look at it. I give you a chance to say that, look, copy me.
We've launched something called TGDEX, Telangana Data Exchange, with about 1,100 plus data sets and growing with every passing day. And this is the first of its kind digital public infrastructure on the AI infrastructure data side that we have launched. And it's not only a data exchange, it's actually a complete sandbox with pre-built AI ML models already built into it and providing access. It's almost like I talked about zero cost access. It's for the startups to get in and battle test their solutions and then go out and put them into production.
Good, very nice. Anshuman, one bold experiment in service delivery using AI.
Sir, Madhya Pradesh is excellent in GIS-based deliveries. So I will just tell you one example. So recently we were tasked with a wonderful work that we had to provide milk to each Anganwadis, and then we have to provide an optimum route from the block headquarters that how each Anganwadi can be served, how many students are there, and how we can provide milk to each of these Anganwadis. So we have, from past 5-6 years, we have developed our own GIS-based engine, routing engine, using again ML-based system that we keep on refining. And then using this, I think in 1 hour, we were able to map all the close to 80,000 Anganwadis of Madhya Pradesh in just 1 hour, and with the optimum route. And then what should be the transport method? So I think that was one of the...
That's an example for it. Okay, we'll love to listen more from you on that. One statement from my side I want to make sure is that MSMEs not forget when we look at our own states, because they are the largest backbone of the economy from GDP and also from the employment opportunities, right? I have just done some mathematics on this part. Roughly $1.5 trillion is MSME which is being contributed as a GDP. 30 crores is the employment which has been provided by them. And 10% is the CAGR which is going forward as a growth rate for MSME. My humble request to all of you is, the statistics says that a technological intervention in MSME can lead to 15 to 18% of the growth rate of CAGR, leading to $4.5 trillion of contribution to the economy by 2030 to 33. Technology and enabled by AI can transform this part in a huge way, especially to micro enterprises, right? Please look into this data point. Please look into this and advocate as much as you can. We are doing an experiment called as Jan AI. What we're doing Jan AI experiment is the education institutions, the local industry coming together and finding out a problem. Then there's a mentorship of AI available to solve the answer of that part and run it then and there. So the live projects of the candidate students, the live example solution given to the industry at a very local level with the network of the AI that we can create. And that's called Jan AI program that we have started with. Leverage that as much as you can and also look at. Now the last question to all of you is, 10-15 seconds, we'll wind up. Thank you, madam, for this notice. One bold statement from every state about your mission of AI in your state. Madam, we'll go to you, Manjula ji.
Human capital is our biggest asset, and why not we harness it? So skilling is something, upskilling, and then providing AI solutions which will make, benefit the society at large is what our mission is. That's what we are embarking on.
Okay. Vishal ji, over to you.
It's a macro level statement. So Odisha is moving from a mind-driven economy to a mind, M-I-N-E,
Oh,
because we account for 44% of India's mineral production, 25% of India's steel, and 55% of India's aluminium is produced in Odisha.
okay.
So from a mine-driven economy to a mine-driven economy.
Very nice. Funny, quickly.
Yeah.
Got to wind up now.
We want to be the world's AI proving ground where the world comes to actually test and drive their AI solutions.
Okay, Anshuman.
For us, it is precision in delivery and dignity in service access.
Lovely. Thank you so much,
Thank you
ladies
all.
and
Thank you all,
gentlemen.
audience.
We
I
have no
request,
time left for
the
us.
panelists for the group photo very quickly.
Thank you so much. Give a hand applause for the leaders here today, please.
आप मेरे से अराउंड 1 घंटे बाद एक बार कॉल कीजिएगा ना, वो निकलवा